Go ahead.
Old timer.
Yeah.
Football exam from Raleigh, News Observer. Just, can you just, I guess, easily describe what the biggest changes have been to a background staff?
Yeah, there's been a lot of,
Staff,
for sure. There's been a lot of new. There's been a lot of good here. I've been a part of some great programs with Coach Brown. I've been fortunate enough to be part of those staffs and those teams. We've had success. Belichick's brought some new stuff, a culture that's new and sort of uplifted, and just a mindset that attacks the day every single day. Obviously, it brings new coaches too. So, new position coach for me, new defense coordinator. So, new schemes, which is always fun to learn and play in. So, there's been a lot of good with Coach Bellich, right?
We have Jeremiah on the front.
Yeah, well, I'm kind of curious, like, how has it been for you personally getting to know all these new guys that have been coming in as someone who, has been around for a while? What's been that process of, like, establishing, like, all these new relationships with these new guys?
Yeah, it's been exciting. It's been exciting. As a leader on the team and an older guy that's been here for a while, there were a lot of new guys in the spring and a lot of new guys now in the summer with freshmen and transfers. It's just been exciting to learn new people, meet new people, take on a new challenge of leading guys on the team, and just creating that team chemistry. This is an important part this summer for us, just building that team chemistry, getting ready for fall camp. So it's exciting.
Will, when Coach Brown left, you would have been well within your rights to explore your options in the transfer portal, but obviously you came back and you're still here. What was it about Coach Belichick's pitch to you that worked on you, and what brought you back here?
For sure, yeah. There's a lot of things Coach Belichick doesn't need to say personally to me that just shows the success he's had, the players he's coached in the NFL. So initially seeing that was amazing. That's an easy sell to me. And then once I got to meet, talk to person, but meet some of the coaches that he was going to bring in, it was pretty simple for me to stay here. I just recently graduated from here, so there's power in staying in one place and being loyal to one place. And I wanted to represent that Carolina Blue for my whole career.
A couple of the guys have said that Coach Belichick's a little different. Every once in a while he'll drop a joke or say something kind of funny. What did you expect him to be like, and at what point did you realize, okay, he may be a legend, but he's a football coach. He's the kind of guy that's been around for years.
Yeah, I've loved getting to meet the actual person side of Coach Belichick. When it's serious, he's serious, but there are times, like you said, when he'll just crack a joke out of nowhere, and just him being kind of monotone sometimes will make those jokes so funny. But I've loved having one-on-one conversations with him. It's cool to see sort of and meet him like personally, because you grow up, see him on TV and everything, and he's just a completely different coach and guy when you get to be around him all day.
As a follow-up, has everybody that you know back home, has every one of them at some point asked you what's he like?
There's a lot of that. Yeah, you get a lot of how is Coach Belichick, what's new, what's different. So I've rehearsed these questions a lot with family and friends, but no, it's all good stuff. So
Canned answers now.
We're going to Adam on the front.
Thanks, Will.
Will, I'm going to put you on the spot with this question. You're obviously super tight with Bo Atkinson. How difficult, from your vantage point, how difficult of a decision was that for him to get in the portal? Did you try to talk him out of it? It seemed like it was kind of a big deal for this fan base that he left. Like, can you just tell us about sort of that dynamic?
yeah, I don't want to speak personally for Bo, but he made the decision that he thought he needed to make for himself. He's missed here. He's a great player, great friend of mine, and I wish him the best of luck. But Bo's a great guy, and he's going to do great wherever he's at.
We have Brian on the second one.
Yeah, well, you mentioned, we've heard about the joking side of Belichick. Have you seen that serious side, that side that you thought you might be getting when he was hired? And when he gets serious, what is he mostly serious about?
Yeah, it's the little things. I've really enjoyed just when we're a full team in the meeting room and he's pointing out different stuff about to the O-line or to the D-line. Like, as me as a DB, it's important to learn all of football to understand how it all connects. And so I've enjoyed that. But you'll get called out in front of the whole team, and man, you got to just say yes, sir, right? There's no hiding in that respect. So it's just been great. It's cool. I also love the way he coaches you one-on-one during practice. So he'll pull me off to the side and just give me a little nibble here and there, and it's cool to see how he knows the full game in every single detail. So.
Right beside me, second one.
Brian Bono, Daily Toro. Can you talk a little bit about kind of the differences in defensive schemes? Can you elaborate on kind of the differences in those schemes between last year
Yeah, I don't want to get too much into the scheme, but there's just, Coach Belichick, Steve Belichick, and head coach Belichick, along with my position coach, Brian Belichick, just allowing the safety specifically to play with freedom, just allow the guys to go out there and make different checks for themselves, and so it gives you a lot of responsibility as a DB and as a safety, but a lot of freedom too, so I've enjoyed that aspect.
You're getting the triple Belichick.
Yes, yeah. Crazy.
Anything else for Will? Yep.
Will, what were the emotions in December leading up to all this stuff, and then when it finally happened, what do you remember about that first meeting with Belichick?
Yeah, there's a lot of unknown, right? When you're preparing for a bowl game, don't know who your coach is going to be the next year. There's just a lot of unknown. But personally for me, I put my faith in the Lord, and so I knew everything was going to work out. And you see, we hired the greatest coach of all time, and there's not much better you could get there. And so it was, it went from unknown to very exciting in a quick time. And then that first meeting with him was cool. It was exciting. Looking forward to hearing what he had to say. And the whole team was dialed in for that meeting. I'll tell you, no one was talking during that meeting, so we were all listening.
You got Andrew in front?
So you graduated in 3 years. How heavy a load did you take during the season in order to be able to graduate in 3 years?
Yeah, not as heavy as you may think. I took basically whatever everyone else took in the season, and then us being here in the summer allows you to take almost a semester's worth in the summer, and came in with some credits from high school. But yeah, I was fortunate enough to graduate. It's always awesome, and it's great to be alumni from the University of Chapel. It's awesome.
You got a mic here?
Will, you mentioned all the unknown that was going on in December with Coach Kitchens being the interim head coach. I know he's on the opposite side of the ball from you, but how cool was it for the team that he is still on staff to have that bridge from the last tenure to this one?
Yeah, I think it's important to keep some continuity in any program. We've got a bunch of different staff that are currently here, whether that's the training or the nutrition. So it's great for the guys that are currently here, and just to keep that culture. So I'm really excited that Coach Kitchens is back with us.
Last two are going to go to Adam and then Jeremiah.
Will, how would you compare the off-season program from the Mac regime now to the Belichick regime? It seems like there's a huge emphasis on you guys in training and stuff like that. Like, what does it look like with the two different head coaches?
Yeah, I've been a part of great programs, and the training staff we had last year was amazing. And with Moses too, we've been working hard. I just finished squatting a lot, and so had to rush over here and do this, which is awesome. But yeah, we work, and it's exciting to see. We've run a lot with Moses, so he said we're going to be the most conditioned team, and so I believe it because we run all day. And it's awesome.
Is it structured differently?
Not necessarily. At the end of the day, the work's the work, and you got to get it done. But yeah.
And Jeremiah.
Well, I know you talked a little bit about the defense as a whole. I wanted to ask you specifically about Steve Belichick. I know Dad was talking about him not too long ago. How would you describe his style as a coach, and just what specifically he kind of tries to instill in you guys? Just what is he like as a defensive coach?
Yeah, he's a great coach. I think the dynamic between him and his brother Brian Belichick, who's my safeties coach, is really cool and fun. They both sort of lead in their own way, but they give you freedom. I think that's the best thing. They want the best players to play, and they'll fit the scheme around the players. So they're not gonna, try to put people where they shouldn't be. They've been around the game a long time to know that when you put the best players out there and you kind of cater to them, that you'll have the most success.
Perfect. Good stuff. Well, thanks so much for coming, everybody.
Appreciate it, Will.